morning class. Today we are going to talk about the topic that is so different from the Holmes principle. Holmes principle talked about that the self-regarding and other-regarding action. Then he talked about the minor and the serious harm. And today we are going to discuss about the positive and negative liberty. Earlier in the chapter, we had mentioned two dimensions of freedom. That is, freedom as the absence of external constraints and freedom as the expansion of opportunities to express oneself. In political theories, these have been called as positive and negative liberty. So let us understand about negative and positive liberty one by one. First, we'll begin with the negative liberty. Negative liberty seeks to define and defend an area in which individual would be inviolable, in which he or she could do, be, or become whatever he or she wished to do, be, or become. It means the area where you cannot interfere the choices or the chances of the individual. They can do whatever they wish to do, they can become whatever they want. You can also call it an area in which no external authority can interfere. It is a minimum area in which whatever the individual does is not to be interfered with. The existence of the minimum area of non-interference is the recognition that human nature and human dignity need an area where the person can be unobstructed by others. How big should this area be, or what should it contain, are the matters of discussion and will continue to be matters of debate, since the bigger the area of non-interference, the more the freedom. So it's talking about negative liberty in political theory means an area of non-interference, an area where individual can act unobstructed by others. Nobody going to interfere in your matter, interfere in your activity. That area is completely belongs to you. You are the master of that area and nobody has the right to interfere in that particular matter, activities or area. Now here the question is, all we need to recognize is that the negative liberty tradition argues for an inviolable area of non-interference in which the individual can express him or herself. If the area is too small, then human dignity gets compromised. We may here ask obvious question, is the choice of what clothes to wear in different situations, be it a school, playground, office, a choice that belongs to the minimum area and therefore one cannot be interfered with by external authority, or it is a choice that can be interfered with by the state religious authority, ICC or CBSC. So what you have discussed about in the Holmes principle, that is the question regarding wearing dress or dress code, is this the matter of a religious discussion, state authority? It is simply the area of an individual where they can wear dress up the way they want to. And if you will limit the area of negative liberty, obviously human dignity will get compromised, because you're not giving him the full chance, or you can say you're not giving him the area to assist their freedom. And negative liberty is concerned with the explaining idea of freedom from, means from which authority, from which restriction, limitation you are free. And negative liberty arguments are in response to the question over what area I am the master, and it concerned or talked about the area that what you are free from. Let us talk about what is positive liberty and why it is important to have positive liberty. So, positive liberty concerned with the condition and nature of relationship between the individual and society, and also imposing these conditions such that there are fewer constraints to the development of the individual personality. Because individual is like a flower that blossom when soil is fertile, the sun is gentle and the water is adequate and the care is regular. So when you want individual to grow, you need to provide them all the growing condition with proper care and proper improving those conditions. By improving the condition, that's what positive liberty is concerned with. So in contrast, the arguments of positive liberty are concerned with the explaining idea of freedom too. They are in response to the answer, who governs me? To which the ideal answer is, I govern myself. Positive liberty discussion have a long tradition that can be traced to Rousseau, Hegel, Marx, Aurobindo, Gandhi, and also to those who draw their inspiration from these thinkers. So these thinkers also talked about that development of individual is only possible when you give them the necessary circumstances, and you have to understand the core relationship of individual with the society, because the development of an individual cannot happen in isolation. That can be only possible when society performs the function or provides the circumstances, facilities, rights that is necessary for the development of an individual. The individual, to develop his or her capability, must get the benefit of enabling positive conditions in material, political, and social domains. That is, the person must be constrained by poverty or unemployment. They must have adequate material resources to pursue their wants and needs. They must also have the opportunity to participate in the decision making process so that the laws made reflect their choices, or at least take those preferences into account. All above, to develop their mind and intellectual, individuals must have access to education and other associated opportunities necessary to lead a reasonable, good life. Positive liberty recognizes that one can be free only in society, not outside it, and hence tries to make that society such that it enables the development of the individual, whereas negative liberty is only concerned with the inviolable area of non-interference and not with the conditions in society outside this area as such. So it's simply talking about that if negative liberty are creating problem for the area in which individual wants to develop their self, then we need to think about it, because we said that negative liberty is an area where individual can do whatever they wish to do so, and on the other hand positive liberty talks about the condition provided by the society to nurture their self. So both need to be in a balance and both should complement each other. And of course negative liberty would like to expand this minimum area as much as possible, keeping in mind however the stability of society, generally they both go together and support each other. So it's very important that positive and negative liberty should go hand in hand. No one of them should have expansion of area more than other. It need to be in a balanced way so that individual can develop their self also, and the people who are living in the society, and the society should give them that condition to develop. So now let us see how we can differentiate between positive and negative liberty. So first point of difference is that negative liberty defines and defines an area of individual life where no external authority can interfere. On the other hand, positive liberty defines the area of society where an individual can be free with some constraint given by the society and the government. It is not concerned with the condition of society, it concerned with the enabling condition of the society. Negative liberty is not concerned is concerned with the explaining idea of freedom from, whereas positive liberty is concerned with the idea of freedom to. Negative liberty area comes into personal domain of the individual, whereas positive liberty comes into social domain of the individual. More negative liberty leads to more freedom, and more positive liberty checks excess of freedom to an individual, which could be an obstruction for social stability. So both the positive and negative liberty need to be in a balanced way. So based on today's class, there are some assignment questions for you. Before that, let us recapitulate what we have discussed. In today's class, we discussed about the concept of positive and negative liberty. Negative liberty talks about the area in which individual is free to do whatever they want, and there is total absence of external restriction, whereas positive liberty is a situation or the area where society provides you the condition in which you can grow yourself but with limited constraint, and this limited constraint is on the negative liberty of the individual, so that other people who are living in the society, they can also get a chance to grow, and each other negative liberty should not harm the positive liberty of all the people living in a society. Then we talked about the differences, and based on that, here are some assignment questions for you. That what is negative liberty? You need to explain with example. What is positive liberty? Then what is the role of state in upholding freedom of its citizen? You will write the role of state or society. What role does they play to maintain the freedom of society or the people living in the society? Then you need to point out the differences between negative and positive liberty. Thank you for today's class and have a nice day ahead.